Okay, y'all, I have 2 of the 6 blocks done. I have just the pieces that need to be snowballed and the little snowball corners, and I'm just going to chain piece these real quick. I think I'm going to do all the small ones first. I did one. You just probably saw me do the first one in this video, or in the last video. I filmed 2 of them. So I filmed the first whole block, and then I did a short with the second whole block. So I should have 4 blocks left because I had 6 total. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm just going to do some quick chain piecing. Let's see. Some of these don't matter. Some of these do. These are non-directional. I'm just going to sort these out real quick. This one is directional. Make sure I do that one right. And this one is directional. I'll have to make sure I do that one right. And this one is directional. So, you know what? I'm just going to do them and make them fit together later. Yeah, it'll work. It'll all work out. So I don't have lines or anything drawn on these. I'm just going to use the 1/4 inch marks seam tape, and that'll all work out. So I did cut a few extras. I don't know what I was thinking, but I've got extras. I'll use those for something else. Now to just take these apart, start putting the other pieces on. I was off a little bit. I wanted to make sure it was still going to fold the right size. Okay, so next on the list is pressing these, and I'm not going to do that on camera, but I will be right back. Okay, so these have all been pressed. The next step is to add these blocks to this end of them. So again, I don't feel a need to pin or anything. Just going to line them up with, and I didn't trim these. And you might see that there's a little bit of off, it's off a little bit, just a hair there. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to line it up with the original block, the original square, not the white, but the print. And as long as I line it up with that, both sides and the seam edge, then we should be good. Now this one, you see how it's off just a little bit there? This one I sewed a little bit funky, and I am actually gonna, because I don't want that to come apart later, and I know I have extra. I know I've got an extra 1/2 inch on this piece. It'll change my angle here just a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough to show in the quilt. I am going to stitch that one down just a little bit farther. Okay, so I'm going to press these again, and then I'm going to actually lay them out. I'm going to lay out the ones at least that have the directional pieces, because I want to make sure I get them in the right place when I stitch the center piece together. And I'll show you a little more of that in just a minute. Let me go get these pressed. Okay, the next step is the center pieces. And basically, they go like this, and then one in the middle, and then one facing the other way. Now, I want to make sure that I have these facing the right way to go onto their perspective other pieces, which I think it doesn't really, I don't know that it'll matter, but I'm going to make sure. So I have 4 centers here, and I have on the top here, I have these 4 that make a difference. So let's start with this one. So this one needs to go this way to be facing the same way, and then that's going to go there. So that one's going to go like that. Make sure I get right side down. That lined up. So that one's done. This one goes like that. This one goes like that. This one goes the same way. And see, I'm just lining it up with this corner here and the sides. Okay, so that's all of those. And then I've got 4 left. that I am just going to go, oh no, I'm out of bobbin thread. Ha, ha. Okay, I'll have to resew these two and part of one. Okay. I got a load of bobbin. I'll be back. Okay, let's finish these up. All right. I'm just going to go peek at my other two blocks because I want to make sure I don't do them the same on these. Okay, so both of the other two blocks used up the purple. The mermaids were with the purple, and then this was with the purple. So it's not really going to matter. I really didn't want them to come out the same. So this and this, I only have one. And I think I've got these four left. So I want one of these to be the blue and one of them to be the pink. So this one, or the green, whatever color that is. These go on the opposite way from those. And they just go at the other end there, the same thing, just at the other end. And again, I'm lining up this corner and that side. So that one got green. This one is going to get purple, pink, whatever color that is. And we're going to go the opposite way. So this way. Line up that corner. Oh, this one's going to line up nice all the way around. There we go. And this one goes this way. Yeah, that's going to be good. This one's going to get the pink one. That's kind of a contrast there, and that's a contrast there. So that's going to be great. Line up the corner. And I don't know if you saw the first video, but this one was cut a little short. It's going to cause me to cut all of them a little short, but sometimes that happens. Measure, you know, the old adage, measure twice, cut once. Yeah, I should have measured twice because I didn't have anything left. That's the thing about using scraps, is you might not have spare to recut. So. Okay, we're going to press this. Now, I pressed everything to the background. So these I pressed out to the background, and these I'm going to press into the background, and then the seams will nest. I'll be right back. Okay, so now all that's left is putting these together. So got my centers here. I need a green heart to go like this. I'm going to line up these two, and they're going to nest. Just like that. I'm going to pin that. You don't have to. If you feel confident that you don't need to, that's fine. You can pin it, you can clip it. I have both. And then just going to make that even. And that up the rest of the way down without tugging, no tugging. Okay, then this one gets this, like that. Again, nesting that seam. Again, I am going to pin it because I don't want it to shift. Then this one goes right there. Nope, this one goes like that. This is the one I cut a little short, and I'm going to just fudge that seam just a hair. I cut it about 1/4 of an inch short. I'm going to fudge that seam by about 1/8 of an inch. And then I can fudge the seam on the other side by about 1/8 of an inch, and hopefully everything will come out okay. If I quilt over it, it'll be fine. Okay, so that was 4. So now we're going to go back to the first one and find the match for that. So that is this one. See how that made a nice heart right there? So this one goes here. They are facing the same way as planned. And then that's going to go right on there. I'm going to do the same thing I did going the other way. I'll line up the seams, the edges. I'll pin that where it nested. And I'm going to sew it. Okay. Just like that. Nest that seam. And I am using the colored patches, not the background, but the actual prints to line these up. I'm using the edges of the prints, not the edges of the background. Because remember, I didn't trim these, so they're a little wonky in spots. If you know, if it's easier for you, you can trim them always. Make them straight. This is the last one. And again, this is the one that I cut short. So when I put this together, I am going to skimp that seam just a little bit. Not on this side, just on that one side. And I'm going to start from the other end on this one because I want to be able to see what I'm doing. So I am going to pin the whole way. See, I want to be able to see that I'm only skimping that by a hair. You can see that. Hopefully you can see that. And that was the last one. I just got to go press them, and then I'll trim them up before they go into the big quilt. Let's take a look real quick, and then I'll come back after they're pressed. There's one. There's two. Oh, this quilt is going to be so adorable. There's three. And there's four. And again, I cut these at 10. If I'd have cut them at 9.5, I wouldn't be trimming anything extra off. But I'd rather trim a little extra off than not have enough. So I'm going to press these, and then I'm going to take you in the other room and show them to you a little better. Okay, so this is the one I did for the short yesterday. This is the first one I did that I had to trim down to 3.75. I think that I'm going to try to just work that in. I'll put that in a corner, and then it won't matter as much if it's a little short. And then I've got this one that we did today. These are all the ones we did today. Now I pressed all of these seams to the outside. They're not gonna, on this particular pattern that I'm doing for my quilt, they're not gonna be butted up against each other. Because I'm just using solid blocks. Well, not solid, but my this print, big blocks of this print in between. So I'm going to trim those. I'm going to get this cut, and we're going to be ready to put this quilt front together, this flimsy. So I'm going to get these trimmed, and yeah, we're just rocking right along. And trim it one at a time, obviously. And I'm going to try to keep my head out of the camera. I noticed that on my last video, my head was in the camera quite often. So I'm just going to trim these even on each side. Will it be exactly 14? No. Will it be exactly 13 3/4? No. I am going to make sure, though, that I'm straight on these center seams here. So there we go. That's a little better. There we go. I'll be back when I'm ready to start putting the others together. Okay, so in a stroke of luck, I trimmed. I folded this in half, and I cut it at I trimmed off the edge, and then I cut it at 14. So I had a big strip of 14. I had two big strips of 14 because it was double high. I cut the selvages off just where I thought was appropriate, and I cut 14 inches off, and I had this fold here was exactly, the folded piece was exactly 14 inches. Don't ask me how I did that, but it all worked out. I thought I was going to have to cut another piece. So these are going to go together like this. Make sure that the ones that are directional appear to be right side up. I don't know how much of that you can see. Like that. This one, this way would be right side up. Like that. Yeah, I think that'll work out good. What did I do? 16. Did I need 16? Oh no. I needed 15. Oh no, these are 15. I needed 15. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so what to do, what to do. Let me see if I have enough to recut them or if I need to trim down the big blocks. Again, measure twice. Measure twice, everybody. Okay, panic averted. I had plenty of fabric, so I'll use the 14s for something else. I won't, obviously, I won't be using this for the background, but that's okay. I wasn't sure for the backing. I wasn't sure I was going to use it for the backing anyway. But this is the general idea what it's going to look like. There's going to be a row of heart, mermaid, heart, and then the next row is going to go mermaid, heart, mermaid, and 4 rows altogether. So, yeah, I mean, this is going to look great. That's what that one's going to look like up there. Yeah. Let me see. I have one more that's different. This one maybe. There we go. I mean, obviously it won't go in those exact order, but yeah, I just got to make sure that these are right side up with these. So, not a big issue. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. All right, we're going to be moving to the sewing machine. Probably not right now, but the next installment, we'll be putting these together at the sewing machine. Okay. Okay, so this quilt is this flimsy is finished. I was so happy. I got it all together and I hung it on the wall and I took a picture and I backed up and I looked at it. Please forgive the dog barking in the other room. Ari, that's enough. And can you spot the difference? One of these things is not like the other. So I'm not quite sure how this happened. This block down here, this block was the first one I did. And this was the second one I did for the short. If you haven't seen that, you can go to my shorts and find it. So this was the second one I did. And then I did all the rest of them, the other 1, 2, 3, the other 4, I chain pieced. So they were all done exactly the same. This one and this one were done a little different. And I'm not quite sure how I did it, but the center strip is running this way on all of them. When I put them together, that center strip was running this way. And then I hung it up and realized that this center strip needed to be this way. So apparently when I was piecing it, somehow I flipped. I guess if this one would have been up here, or if these would have been on the other end, then this would have been here. And I'm not quite sure how that would have worked, but it would have been flipped the other way. So now the question is, do I pull this out and fix it, or do I leave it like it is and finish it? I'm so totally on the fence about this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Fix it or leave it? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Obviously, leave me a comment. Give me a hype. Let me know what you think. And in the next video, I'll tell you what I did. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you on the next one.